small. I weighed like 130, 135. How did you survive that psychological trauma?
Man, I'm gonna be totally honest with you, bro. Um, when I first came down, like I was embraced by the Latino community when I first came down. You know what I'm saying? And some good brothers, man, that really, man, um, taught me a lot about how to do time. You know what I'm saying? And because I came down at such a young age with a life sentence, now I can look back and know that they were just trying to groom me, you know what I'm saying, to become,
Yeah,
they knew I was going to be around a while, you know what I'm saying? So they want to make sure, man, that somebody with a level head, man, can be in position of leadership, you know what I'm saying? Um, not, and I'll be, like I said, I'm being transparent here, man. Not always it was on a positive side, you know what I'm saying? Because um, I can look back now and see that there were some things, man, that we were engaged in, man, that really was some BS, you know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
that happened like at the beginning of my bit, you know what I'm saying? So it was in the process of me maturing and just learning how to navigate, you know what I'm saying, that prison system. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to figure it out, and I had to have a certain persona. That's the only way I was going to survive. You know what I'm saying?
that's
I
right.
couldn't be, I couldn't be walking around, man, with, I'm gonna say, with my head down. I had to, hey, my chest up. Hey, this is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Um, so I think that's what helped me a lot. Helped me out a lot, man. Just having them old school, man, them old school brothers, man, like really breathe on me, and show me the way.
That I'm telling you, it's just like when I listen, man, because we know the whole array of juvenile lifers, man. Even if we didn't know each other at the time, was a juvenile lifer. Now we see each other now, and we like, damn, I didn't know he was just like
Mhm.
me.
Right.
And we seen the trials and tribulation that each other be going through, man. And I guess, I guess for me, I really didn't care, man, because in my mind, I was frustrated, I was angry, I was, I was gone in my mind, man. I gave up in thought, but I always knew in the back of my mind that freedom was just waiting on me to come get it. And I didn't know how to go get it because my pride stood in the way. My pride told me to stand up and just, man, I'm gonna live the way I'm gonna live, and that's gonna be that. If it come my way, it come my way. If it don't, it don't.
Hmm.
And so that leads me to this question, and I'm asking the same questions of that was asked to me, man, because I remember them like yesterday when I
Hmm.
got out and certain questions was asked to me. At what point in your prison bit did you make the ultimate decision to say, you know what, I'm done with prison. I got to go.
I know exactly when that happened, bro. I know exactly when that happened. I was it was in 2003. I was sent to Standards Max. So I was a maximum security. I was placed on STG2. I was in the hole. I had got caught, you know what I'm saying, caught a ticket at another joint that elevated me to a level 5. And I remember being in the hole, man, in Standards. I was in the hole where they had like a lot of mentally ill, you know what I'm saying, other brothers
Mm-hmm.
that were really mentally ill, you know what I'm saying? And I'm telling you, man, um, like I don't even know how people even work there, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because mentally, when you are placed in that type of environment, man, like you have to be strong. You
You
know what I'm
ain't lying.
saying? You hear things and you see things, bro, that as a human being we should never see. You know what I'm saying? Brothers, man, under like suffering. You know what I'm saying? And so you had to, you know what I'm saying? So while I was in there, it was like, that statement, man, my mind was playing tricks on me, man. It was, you know what I'm saying? It was. And I had a moment, man, where I was like, I had a conversation with God, right?
Mm.
And I looked around this cell, man. I'm on STG2. I'm in level 5, in the hole. All my appeals are exhausted. I have no money for an attorney, and I'm doing life without parole. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't get no worse than that. You know what I'm saying?
Sure don't.
In the state of Michigan. And so I just told God, man, I was like, this can't be it. You know what I'm saying? Like this can't be it. Like it can't end like this. You know what I'm saying? I want something more for my life than this. You know what I'm saying? And I tell you something, bro. 2 weeks later, after that conversation, I get a knock at the door. There's a sergeant at my door. She said, "You got some legal mail." And I said, what do you mean I got some legal mail? I ain't got nothing going on. You know what I'm saying? She said, you want it or what? You know what I'm saying? So I get to the door, I get a letter, and it's the attorney, Deborah LaBelle. You know,
Right.
in that letter, she's saying, hey, we're doing a study on juvenile lifers. We believe that this is an unconstitutional sentence. Would you participate in this study? And bro, that was like my light bulb just lit up. You know what I'm saying? Because I was like, I got something I can hold on to now. You know what I'm saying? And so but I know that I got to move different now. You know what I'm saying? And the first thing I did when I got out the hole after that, the first thing I did was order me a typewriter. You know what I'm saying? I ordered me a typewriter, man. I taught myself how to type in the hole. And when I tell you, bro, I wrote thousands of letters. I wrote thousands of letters, man, about this juvenile stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? And I remember getting one response. I remember getting one response, man, from a sister, man, from an organization. And when she gave me that response, it was like all those thousands of letters that I had written, bro, was all worth that time. You know what I'm saying? Because I at least knew that one more person out there understood, our plight, man, as children, man, that were sentenced to life without parole. You know what I'm saying? And I had sent her a petition, and she said I took it to my church. I got it signed. We sent it in. You know what I'm saying? And so, when I seen the results of work, I realized like, okay, I got some here, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me start, let me start getting involved, and just educating myself, you know what I'm saying? And the more and more I educated myself, man, about, juvenile lifers, it was almost like the more and more I felt like negativity, like separating from it. You know what I'm saying? Like it just I just started moving different, bro. And it just worked out. You know what I'm saying? It really did, man. It's amazing. You know what I'm saying? Like it messes me up sometimes to see how it actually worked.
Yeah.
But, it taught me, man, that if you apply yourself to something, man, like, anything's possible.
See, 2003 was the year that I was first came knowledgeable of Deb LaBelle and her pursuit for juvenile justice. 2003. And I distinctively remember, man, you said it earlier. You said, I knew that something was wrong. And I studied this law. I just couldn't figure out what the hell but it didn't seem right that they could give a juvenile, a little baby. I don't care how bad he is, he's still a baby. How could they give a little baby life without parole in prison? Just throw him away. Something was wrong, morally wrong with that to me. And so 2002, I was at IMAX. I was about to leave IMAX, and my aunt, she had always been fighting for me. She was my oldest aunt, and she would call everywhere, send letters everywhere, and all the innocent clinics and all of this. And the innocent clinic told her that maybe from what she telling them, that maybe I can contact this group called ACLU because they fighting for juveniles. And sure enough, my aunt got an application. They had applications back then. And she sent it to me, and I sent it back to Deb LaBelle. And it was then, but I changed my life in 1999. But it was then in 2003 that I knew. I knew that everything that I thought was wrong was actually wrong and was going to be proven wrong, and that I was going to be exonerated, not from the actual crime, but I'm talking about from prison. And so just knowing that for me allowed me to have a certain stillness and calmness in my heart. You know what I'm saying? We was young, true, but man, we was traumatized, heart beating fast as hell, because at the end of the day, we still had life without parole in prison, and we didn't know how we was going to get out. We just knew that we had faith that we was going to get out. And so what type of family support did you have when you was going through your prison sentence?
Oh man, that was that was like one of the most important things, man, to me, bro. I remember when I first started my bit, I always share with people, man, that the best possible advice, man, that an old head gave me, man, he said, don't let the world forget you. And I was like, I said, what are you talking about? He said, don't let the world forget you, man. He said, when you communicate with people in the world, if they don't write you back, dog, he said, all it takes, man, is 25 cents, man, to write them again, man. You know what I'm saying? He said, don't get caught up in the bitterness of people not writing you back, man, and to the point where you cut people off, because if you don't exist in the minds of the people in the world, you don't exist. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Prison is not a real world. You know what I'm saying? So I took that advice, man, and I always maintained communication with people. You know what I'm saying? And as time was going by, not only was I maintaining communication in relationships, but I was also staying up with what was going on in the world. You know what I'm saying? So when the time came when I did come home, I wasn't always totally lost. You know what I'm saying? But it was very important, man. Like my grandparents, you know what I'm saying? My grandparents were the ones that raised me. They stood by me, bro. Like, man, my grandmother used to come to visit me in the youth home, bro, every single day. You know, those that were in the youth home with me, man, like they know my grandmother, man, in snowstorms and everything. She was there. You know what I'm saying? And you know, the blessing of it is that she's downstairs right now, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, she was there in court when that life sentence, man, was undone. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, since I've been home, like I could easily go and live by myself, bro, and go get me an apartment or a house, man. But I don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? This lady, man, held me down. You know what I'm saying? So it's my duty to hold her down. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that family support, man, is very, very important, man, because I remember when there were gaps, because it was, you know, it wasn't always gravy with family, you know what I'm saying? But when there were gaps, man, where you might have like not heard from somebody, man, on a birthday or a Christmas, like that was a scary feeling, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because, you know what I'm saying, you know, that loneliness kicks in, man. Like, you know, we're human, you know what I'm saying? And so, you know, when we don't have that affection, man, and that love from family, man, when we're, you know, in our darkest moments, you know, that can also play tricks on you, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, some guys, man, come home, man, with some really, really, man, bitter attitudes about that, and understandably slow, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it was very important, man. It's very important. So I always encourage people, man, like you gotta love one of them, man. You know, it doesn't take much, man, to drop a little letter, man, a couple pictures every now and then, man, because that means the world.
You ain't lying. You definitely not lying there, because we always talk about, it's like when I talk to guys right now that call me from prison and they be asking me, man, what's up with your cousin? So and so said he was gonna reach back. Tell them, man, all we asking for is some pictures, man. We ain't asking for no money. Because we know in there, now that we're out here, we know even more how important just the letter is.
Yeah.
A letter. It ain't got to have no money attached to it. A picture makes it even that. It's like $1 million.
Yeah.
One small picture of them seeing that you doing all right, because it's them seeing you all right that makes them feel like they gonna be all right.
Yeah.
Because I remember I used to think like that when my family, they always stayed in contact with me. I never was without support for 28 years in prison. And I think that's also a testament to the respect that you showed towards your grandmother. I mean, it's like my aunt right now that raised me. She done seen me do some treacherous stuff for real, with guns and everything. But she never heard me use a curse word, because that's the respect that I have for her, right? And I think that's the testament. And that's not to say that that works like that with everyone, because some people's family members, you know, they just start living their life.
Yeah.
And some